There's a lot you still don't know, and one of them is that the Washington Commanders still have over $40 million available to bring in 3 absolutely transformational veterans who can fill critical roster gaps. But here's the problem. Not everyone will want to come to Washington. You will find out how a natural wide receiver is interested in coming back home, how a 34-year-old veteran could be the perfect mentor, and how a devastating edge rusher could form the scariest duo in the NFC. But there is an even bigger truth that no one is talking about. The Commanders have 2 promising candidates who could completely revolutionize the team, and neither of them will play a single game in 2026. And there's more. There's an underrated weapon that could elevate Jayden Daniels' passing game to a whole new level. Someone you know, but aren't seeing their true potential. Stay with me until the end, because you will understand exactly how these 3 pieces of the puzzle can transform the Commanders from a disastrous team into a playoff contender. Leave your like on the video. It's just 1 click, and you will help me a lot. Come on. With the end of the quieter season and the start of training camp approaching, the Washington Commanders still have the chance to significantly reinforce their roster with more talent and firepower. As a fan who follows every move, I know this is a crucial opportunity. With about $43 million left in the salary cap, Adam Peters can easily offer 1- or 2-year contracts to veterans looking to reignite the fire in their careers. Both sides of the field still have gaps that can be filled with some short-term contracts until the next draft arrives clearly. The return of Stefon Diggs to the DMV makes sense. A native of Montgomery County, Maryland, where he grew up cheering for Washington. Stefon Diggs has been showing his interest in wearing the burgundy and gold uniform more discreetly than other receivers who have expressed themselves on social media. After a considerably frustrating stint in Houston, where he played 8 games, Diggs moved to New England, where he became a reliable and consistent target for quarterback Drake May in his second year in the league, leading the team to the Super Bowl. He surpassed the 1,000-yard mark in 6 of the last 7 seasons, clearly. Despite being 32 years old, currently facing multiple civil lawsuits stemming from a criminal case, Diggs is in the middle of a legal drama that could hurt Washington. After years of off-field scandals during the Dan Snyder era considerably, Keenan Allen could be a good complement to Terry McLaurin in Washington. After a year back with the Chargers, 34-year-old Keenan Allen remains unsigned and has yet to announce retirement plans. When healthy, clearly. Allen averages 105 receptions and 1,198 receiving yards per year. Besides Terry McLaurin, Washington's wide receivers remain relatively young and inexperienced, probably with a 1-year contract and a mentor role considerably. Instead of being a primary target, Allen could focus on short routes like slants or hooks. While rookie Antonio Williams plays in the slot and develops his skills, low risk and clearly, frankly, low return, Allen could provide a strong veteran presence in the locker room, alleviating some of the pressure from McLaurin. Jadeveon Clowney would be a true partner for Javon Kinlaw considerably. Jadeveon Clowney, lining up on the opposite end of Javon Kinlaw, could be the perfect piece to wreak havoc on quarterbacks and running backs throughout the league. In the last season, clearly. He signed a 1-year contract with the Cowboys, accumulating 12 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks, and 22 quarterback pressures. This is the kind of pressure in the trenches that the Commanders need considerably. If they want to compete in an NFC with so many high-level offensive units, a stronger duo of edge rushers would allow Darren Payne and Jer'Jon Newton to stand out and fill the gaps in the interior of the defensive line clearly. The Commanders are entering a crucial year that includes major changes in the coaching staff leading the offense and defense considerably. An insider firmly believes in the potential of David Blau and Durante Jones. The Washington Commanders not only reshaped the roster during the preseason, but also made major changes to the coaching staff clearly. Cliff Kingsbury and Joe Witt Jr. left and were replaced by newcomers David Blau and Durante Jones. Objectively, it's a bit risky for a team coming off a season with 5 wins and 12 losses, but Dan Quinn needed to find a spark considerably, and is obviously confident that these 2 can provide it. He is not the only one who believes in Blau and Jones. The senior journalist from The Athletic, clearly, Jordan Rodrigue, recently published her list of candidates for breakout coach. And both are among the nominees for the Commanders. What's interesting is that Rodrigue usually names 1 coach per team considerably, but couldn't resist including the duo in the Commanders list. Blau and Jones form a very interesting pair of coordinators who face a lot of pressure after a bad year for Washington. Clearly, both will be responsible for the plays, and both are in their first year as coordinators at the professional level. Blau had a role in the offensive rookie season of the year for Jayden Daniels in 2024 as a quarterback's coach assistant considerably, and rose through the ranks to his current position. Meanwhile, Jones was a key assistant in the last years of the exceptional defenses led by Brian Flores in Minnesota, with an extensive resume in college football before that, clearly. David Blau and Durante Jones are candidates with 100% chances of standing out for the Commander's position. It's a good choice, as both teams have a lot to work with, both on offense and defense considerably. Obviously, Blau has Daniels, but the Commanders should also have an offensive line among the top 12 in 2026. And while there is a shortage of receivers beyond Terry McLaurin clearly, the signing of free agent Chigoziem Okonkwo can easily offset this deficiency, becoming the second option in the passing game. The group of running backs is also very solid considerably, although there isn't a true number one option. The quartet formed by Rachaad White, Bill Merritt, Katron Allen, and Jeremy McNichols has a high level of performance. The upside may not be the highest clearly, but the Commanders should not suffer from a lack of production from their running backs in 2026. Add to that a wildcard potential like the explosive Robert Henry Jr., and we could certainly see the Commanders' running game transform completely considerably and become a very effective weapon. Defensively, the Commanders have a scary defensive line on paper, especially at the linebacker position clearly, where resides another strong quartet formed by Sonny Styles, Leo Chenal, Frankie Luvu, and Jordan Magee. The potential of this group is enormous, in fact, considerably. It could become the best group of linebackers in the NFL by the end of the year. All four, if used correctly, have the right traits and skills that complement each other, and they can lead to decisive plays clearly. The secondary is a different story. Even after the addition of Rasul Douglas, we still do not know if Amik Robertson and Mike St. Ristel will recover from the poor 2025 seasons considerably, how Trey Amos will fare after the injury, and who will be able to play consistently as a center fielder, but the defensive line can relieve many concerns if it meets expectations clearly. In any case, the defensive roster is far from weak, and we cannot forget that Jones is a former pass coordinator. He has quite a bit of experience working in that department considerably, and that should help him elevate the players to a level where they are not a problem like last year. If all of this comes to fruition, the Commanders will clearly return, without a doubt, to playing competitive football, whether that means they will return to the playoffs or not. We still do not know considerably, but at least we will know that they have the right people to make that happen in the very near future. The fans of the Washington Commanders clearly, still worried about an apparently incomplete offensive roster, are mulling over some of the most tired narratives of this preseason. If they have not been considerably spooked by the saga of Brandon Ayuk, it was another infamous receiver with a troubled past, Stefon Diggs, who caught attention. Someone with great potential as a second receiver to complement the main option, Terry McLaurin. But the new offensive coordinator clearly. David Blau may end up looking elsewhere for an extra receiver to complement the passing attack of quarterback Jaden Daniels. Running back Jackery Bill Krosky Merritt, a fan favorite, seems willing to take on the challenge from the coaching staff to expand his role and become a considerably complete player. And this news could not come at a better time. The next step for Bill as a complete lobbyist. He certainly has shown himself open to continuing to improve in his second season clearly, stating this previously in one of the mandatory minicamps of this preseason. I mean, it feels good, but I know I need to keep working and be even better than last year. He said during his press conference considerably, "That's it. It's my only goal, my only focus, to win and be a completely different version of myself clearly." His great start in the 2025 NFL regular season was inspiring enough, considering what it was, especially for a player selected in the 7th round of the draft. Initially relegated to backup to veteran Austin Eckler considerably, Krosky Merritt did not manage to establish himself as a starter in Washington until Week 5. He immediately surpassed the 100 rushing yards mark, the first in 7 games as a starter, clearly. And although he was unable to maintain that consistency throughout the season, he ended the campaign on a high note, scoring 4 more touchdowns in his last 4 games, unraveling Krosky Merritt's weakness in David Blau's passing attack considerably. He proved that he deserves to receive much more immediate attention in the Commanders' game plan, especially with an improved scoring options group, which now includes a more experienced running back to share the plays clearly. The patient Rachaad White, in addition to an athletic improvement at the tight end position with Chig Okonkwo. He has already proven himself sufficient as a reliable outlet. While White's relationship with Daniels has been quite discussed considerably, putting pressure on Bill not to be overshadowed by the competition. White, in turn, has shown himself willing to make receptions during his last season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, converting 40 of the 45 passes thrown his way clearly, and earning 10 first downs. He never managed a touchdown pass, just like Krosky Merritt. But the Commanders' starting running back received only 13 passes in total during the fall considerably, and none in the last 6 weeks of play. Bill also doesn't have stone hands, since he completed 9 of his 13 passes thrown his way clearly. But he can do much better than just 68 receiving yards in a season. He has the chance to receive plenty of attention in Washington's offense, due to his youth and Eckler's considerable departure, and if he can produce enough on long passes alongside the proven White-Daniels connection, and the talented Okonkwo, the Commanders can compensate for the lack of a starting wide receiver group, even with some hair issues clearly.